Hi friends, the next topic what we'll be learning it after mesh, supermesh, superposition, that will be your Thevenin theorem. So let's have a look. What are the following steps for solving Thevenin theorem? There are few defined steps for solving any kind of sums for Thevenins. Let's go for it. This is the following network which is given to you. It's given obtain the Thevenin's equivalent of the network. So your initial step 1 is known as your VTH condition. And I say VTH, that is nothing but Thevenin's voltage. Your Thevenin's voltage is always find between the point A and B. You take it as A as positive, B as negative. I'll write all the points which steps are required to finding VTH. So it will become much easier for you guys to understand. Okay, this will be done only for the first sum. Second, third sum will go in the flow. Okay. So first point, A as positive and B as negative. Second point, between A and B, write VTH. Third point, select the path. Fourth point, shortest path, but shortest path. But logic is that when I say a path, the path should be selected in such a manner that there shouldn't be any current source in that path. So, next point, no current source. Next. After selection, the shortest path with no current source, we need to give sign convention. Sign convention is given by current. Where the current enters, you give it positive, and where the current leaves, you give it negative. After putting all the steps, you get the VTH. For timing, just remember the steps. When you put down in this to reality, it will become much easier for you guys. So let's revise once again. For VTH, first point, consider A as positive, B as negative. Second point, between A and B, write VTH. Third point, select the path. Fourth, select the shortest among that path. Next, no current source should be there in that path. After selection, the shortest path without a current source, put sign convention to all the resistance. Now next question arises, who will give the sign convention? The sign convention will be given by the current. Where the current enters the resistance, give it positive, leave the resistance, give it negative. So this is the following step which you need to follow it for every Thevenin sum for finding VTH. Sum becomes much easier, my dear friend. So let's do it with Thevenin's. Sum number 1, step 1. Theorems. Ix. A dependent current source. 2Ix. A. B. A voltage source. 8 volt. Let's do it, my dear friend. We said step by step. A as positive, B as negative. Then second, between A and B, write VTH. From A to B, you have to select a path. So there are two: first path, second path. Shortest path is this path. But logic says the path should be selected in such a way that there shouldn't be any current source. So this path has current source, so we cannot select this path. So we have to select this path. After selection of path, we need to give sign convention. Sign convention is given by current. So you have an unknown current over here, that is your I. Over here, I cannot draw I2 because circuit is open, so current cannot. So your sign convention is given by current source. Where your current enters, you would name it positive. Your current leaves the resistance, you name it negative. Since there was only one resistance, you give it sign convention. So that's all. The following steps you need to wait for finding VTH. Now let's solve VTH, my dear friends. For VTH, we need to go in clockwise direction. To go in clockwise direction. Just remember, at the end you will be writing the VTH term. Initially you will be writing all the terms in that part. At the end you will be writing VTH. This is rule is for any sum for Thevenins. Just keep that in mind. Okay, let's do it. So when you go clockwise, you enter into negative. So you write ulta, positive. Vice versa. You enter into positive, you write negative. You cannot write -4. You're writing KVL. KVL means voltage. If I write only 4, 4 is your resistance. I need to make it voltage. Ohm's law. It says V is equal to IR. That means for resistance to make it voltage, the current should flow. So if I multiply resistance with current, I will be getting voltage. That means in 4 ohms, your current is I1. So I need to write 4 I1. So I cannot write only 4. Please keep that in mind. So clockwise, you enter into positive. You write minus VTH equal to 0. I need to find VTH. So negative, take it positive that side. So VTH is equal to 8 minus 4I. My step 1 only needs that I need to find VTH. That's it. If I need to find VTH, this equation itself tells me you first find I1, then only you will get VTH. So let's find I1 with this circuit. In this circuit, I have only one loop because this I cannot take it as a loop because it is not a closed path, right? And in this loop, can I apply a mesh? No, not at all. If I need to apply a mesh, my dear friend, I need to apply KVL. When I say KVL, I need voltage application. A voltage, but this is a current. So I cannot. So if I cannot, so just think, if I cannot apply a voltage, because there has to be a current source. There is a current source, that means I'll be getting the value for this directly. So let's solve it. So that means this direction and this direction are opposite. So my direction for I1 will be minus 2 of I, which is the value of our current source. Minus because direction is different. Now I need to find Ix. For Ix, just observe the network carefully, which you have already drawn in your book. Okay? If you observe it carefully, your Ix and I1 are in the same direction, my dear friend. So you can state your Ix is nothing but equal to I1 and plus I1. Why plus I1? Because they are in the same direction. So wherever you'll be getting Ix, put I1. So I1 is equal to minus 2 of I1. Shift this side. This will be I1 plus 2I1 equal to 0. This will be, my dear friend, 3I1 equal to 0. This will be I1 equal to 0. When I get I1 equal to 0 amperes, put this I1 in the previous equation so that you should get VTH. The equation of VTH in earlier it was VTH equal 8 minus 4 I1. Put the value of I1 over here. That means the VTH is equal to 8 volts. So that's your step 1, which you have calculated the Thevenins voltage. Now let's go for the step 2, my dear friend. Your step 2 deals with. Your step 2 says, my dear friend, you need to find the short circuit current. The step 2 says you need to find the short circuit current, which I say a short form ISC, short circuit current. So finding short circuit current, the rule says that whichever the path you need to find the VTH A and B, you just need to short that path. You just need to short that path A and B. So your circuit will look like This will be your resistance, my dear friend. 4 ohm. This will be your Ix, your dependent current. This will be your dependent current source having the upward direction. 2 of Ix, my dear friend. This will be your voltage which you got 8 volts. This will be your A and B and A. Since you need to find short circuit, so what you'll be doing it, my dear friend, you need to short this part. So over here, you'll be getting ISC current. So in this circuit, if you observe carefully, you got two smaller loops. You need to name this as I1, this as I2. Ultimately, I need to find ISC. When will I get ISC? When I'll be getting the value of I2, because I2 and ISC are in the same direction. I2 is equal to ISC. So once I get I2, I'll be getting ISC, right? In this circuit, when you got I1 and I2, if you got two unknowns, either it can be solved by mesh analysis, either it can be solved by super mesh, right? So let's check it. It can be solved by mesh or super mesh. For mesh, everything should be voltage, right? Because you need to apply KVL. Voltage, I into R, voltage, but this is a current source, so you cannot. Again, same thing, you cannot. So logic says, if I need to apply mesh, there has to be KVL, but you cannot apply KVL. So in this condition, you will be applying a super mesh condition. So this will be a super mesh. Statement will be applying KVL and super mesh. So in this super mesh condition, my dear friend, you got only one resistance, and which currents are flowing to it? 4I. The super mesh in both the current need to be given as positive. Apart from this two current, all the current should be taken as negative. Okay. So equal to, in outer part, any voltage source only one, where the current enters negative, it will be vice versa, positive. So I1 will be equal to 2. And second equation which you will be getting from this current source. This current source have two adjacent current, I1 and I2. Carefully observe it, my dear friend, which current is flowing in its direction, in the current source direction, I1 or I2. If you observe it carefully, you will say I2 is flowing in this direction. Whichever current is flowing in that direction, you will say it plus I. Which is flowing in the opposite direction, you will say it minus I. Equal to the current's value. What is the current value? It is nothing but 2Ix. Rule says whichever equation you get it, you should get the equation in terms of unknown current. That is nothing but I1 and I2. You got it Ix. When you're getting it Ix, make it a point, my dear friend, to convert it into I1 or I2, which you can do it by looking at the network. When you see the network, my dear friend, you observe it, Ix and I1 has a relation and it is in the same direction. If it is in the same direction, Ix can be written as plus I1. So wherever you get Ix, my dear friend, so put down plus Ix. The equation what you will be getting is minus I1 plus I2 equal to 2I1. Shift everything, so you will be getting minus 3I1 plus I2 equal to 0. You already got the value for I1, that is nothing but 2 amperes. Put this value over here, so you will be getting it minus 6 plus I2 equal to 0. So your I2 will be, my dear friend, it will be 6 amperes. You don't want to find I2. Your main intention was finding ISC, my dear friend. And you're looking at the circuit, if you consider your ISC and I2 were in the same direction, so it will be equal to, that is nothing but your step 2. Your step 2 was finding the short circuit current. That was your step 2, my dear friend. Now let's go for step 3, my dear friend. When I say about step 3, your step 3 defines the equivalent circuit. When I say equivalent circuit, my dear friend, that was the main question which you need to find out. The equivalent circuit deals with you having a Thevenin's voltage in series with a Thevenin's resistance. You have already calculated the VTH, but you need to find RTH. Basic law, my dear friend, V is equal to IR. You have voltage, you have current. you just need to find R. So just use it. So for V you will be writing VTH, for I you will be writing ISC, for R you will be writing RTH. That is nothing but RTH is equal to, it will be VTH upon ISC, my dear friend. Just put the value for RTH and ISC. When you put the value for RTH you got 8 and ISC in this condition you got 6, and similarly if you divide you will be getting the value for RTH, that will be in this format. The value which you will be getting it after putting in calculator, that will be 1.33 ohms. That will be your RTH value. After getting the RTH value, put the value of RTH in the equivalent circuit. So your equivalent circuit will deal with, this will be your VTH, this will be your RTH value, your open circuit A and B. Just put the values of VTH in the bracket, that is nothing but your 8 volt, and your RTH value is nothing but your 1.33 ohms. This circuit is defined as your equivalent Thevenin circuit. Let's revise it once more, my dear friend. At the end, your Thevenin circuit, any kind of Thevenin circuit, is divided into 3 steps. Your step number 1 deals with Thevenin's theorem. Okay? The Thevenin's theorem deals with your step number 1, VTH. If I need to find VTH, first point is that put A as positive, B as negative. Second, between A and B, write VTH. Next, select the shortest path. Before that, select any path. Then, among the path, select the shortest path. Next, make it sure the path which you select should not be having any current source, because you need to apply KVL. So after selecting the shortest path which is not having current source, put sign convention. When I say sign convention should be given to only to resistance. Now next thought arises in your mind, who will give the sign convention? Sign convention is given by current source. When a current enters, it gives positive. When a current leaves the resistance, it means right negative. After all these procedures, take it a clockwise direction, which we have taken a blue mark. Write all the equation for VTH. At the end, write VTH ka term. You will be getting the VTH equation. Solve VTH. That will be a step 1. Step 2. Step 2 says your A and B should be shorted. So you need to find short circuit current. That can be solved either by mesh or by supermesh in this both those conditions, which you have already studied before. So that will be very easy. Step 2 is very easy. It can be either resolved by mesh or supermesh. That's it, nothing else. Step 3. Step 3 says simple. And a equivalent circuit. It is predefined. VTH in series with RTH, A and B. In this circuit, we have already been knowing the value for VTH. What we don't know is RTH. Apply basic Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law defined as? V is equal to IR, right? We have V, we have I. We just need to find R. So R is nothing but equal to V upon I. For V, you will be writing VTH. For I, you will be writing ISC. For R, RTH. So your RTH will be VTH upon ISC. Just put the value of VTH which you got from step 1. Just put the value of ISC which you got from step 2. Put the value, you will be getting RTH. After getting RTH, put the value of VTH and RTH in the equivalent circuit. That will be your Thevenin's equivalent circuit. That's what the sum is required for. Thank you so much for being with that. This is for the first sum. Still some more 4 to sums to go to have a rough practice on Thevenin's theorem, because once we do with Thevenin's theorem, trust me, Norton's and maximum power will be piece of cake for you. Okay, thank you so much. Signing off.